Hi, my beautiful people. My name is Carla, and my business is called Empress Vibe. So if you ever want to find me on any platform, it's hashtag Empress, EMPRESS Vibe, like a vibe. All right, so today's video is going to be about the truth about Reiki and the truth about black magic and any type of free will sorcery people do to mess with our free will for pure-hearted people. And this video is really just for my pure-hearted people. You know who you are. You're not a stepping mat. You're not one of those people that are nice because you like to manipulate people. You're a person that literally, when you give, you're a giver. You give and you don't expect nothing in return. And when somebody doesn't return to you, you kind of just keep a mental note if they constantly do that and there's no reciprocal energy, and you cut them off. This is for those type of people. The people that are scared of the dark, that are scared of the dark side. And this video is going to be for you. Also, if you were a person that was dabbling into Reiki and some scary shit happened to you and you ran to Christianity, to Jesus, I believe in Jesus. I believed in Jesus before stepping into all this stuff. So I want to tell you that you moved in fear and you needed to connect with Jesus so Jesus can walk you through on what you needed to do in those situations. Because I'm a Reiki master. I am a victim of my own teacher siphoning and stealing my energy. Not only that, I think he did symbols to block my intuition. He did symbols on my feet to block my movement. Not only that, while that was happening, and I also heard that he was doing sex magic as well too, you know. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later, how I felt. I'm not going to get too deep into them at all. This is going to be my experience with Reiki and black magic as a person that deeply believes in the Most High and that deeply believes in Jesus and also has connected to benevolent deities like Shiva, Ganesh, Isis, Hathor. I know Sekhmet is not really seen as positive, but some I see Sekhmet just like Shiva, if I'm going to be honest with you. Anyways, that's just to name a few. I am very highly connected with high-ranking angels, seraphim angels as well, which are those are the ones that are right below the Most High. You have to be insanely pure-hearted to be able to connect to those type of energies because you just have to be pure-hearted. you have to be pure of heart and not have no ill intent, because then you're not allowed to be in that vibration, if you know what I mean. I'm gonna start off by showing you guys what my aura and my chakras look like the year that I got Reiki for the first time in 2020. So I got it in March, right? Um, I became friends with my first spiritual friend, which is somebody that I already had met before, but it was through another friend. It was like an acquaintance, but it was an acquaintance that followed me still on my social media. And when they saw that I was posting tarot readings and stuff, they came at me like a moth to a flame. And I thought that was going to be my bestie for the rest of my life until Jesus showed me what it was. Anyway, so I got Reiki by this girl in 2020 in March. This is what my aura looked like. So it was like red, orange. It shows red, which stands for physical, hardworking, grounded, practical, and intense. And if you guys see my chakras right there, the root chakra is like at 1. Not only is that at 1, but it looked green. Can you see my heart? Hell no, you can see a cube. The guy told me, he's like, there's people that have walls. He's like, you have walls on walls on walls on walls on walls. He's like, you need to be a little bit more free with giving your love. And I'm just like, some people don't deserve it. This is me in the beginning of my spirit. I want to say 2 years in my spiritual journey, but it was my first time with a spiritual friend. And that friend, she was a Reiki, not a master, but she practiced Reiki. So she was like level 2. When I had Reiki for the first time in March, when I was driving home, I turned off the radio and my mind was silent. Like, I can actually hear me talking to myself in my thoughts. And I was like, oh, I love this. And I felt inner peace for the first time in my life. I felt calm. As you can see, I was red. I was hot. I'm still a little hot and spicy, but I have learned to, simmer that down, because it's, you don't always want to be spicy. You don't always want to be hot. You want to be able, personally, you want to be able to go through all the motherfucking, go to red, orange, all those. You want to be able to go to all those. I now have an aura machine, and with my business, I take aura videos and pictures of people. So this is why I know so much about energy. I started my spiritual journey in 2018 is when I started it. And if you could see here, I have a record of my family having heart disease, like pacemakers or hypertension. That's where I was going. You know how they say that diseases are genetics? I really think it's the coping mechanisms on when hardships happen that determines what happens with your health. Because if you've read the book Map of Consciousness by Dr. David Hawkins, it clearly shows that emotions have a lot to do with diseases. Not only that book, but also You Can Heal Your Life by Lois Hay. Those are two big must reads. Start off with the Lois Hay one first. That one's a lot easier to read. Then get you a dictionary before 2020, before 2019, because they've updated the meanings of words. So get you an old one and start reading. And I know that they have done a program to shorten our attention span because of social media and the scrolling and the likes. You're going to have to battle that. Simple as that. You have to battle that because you want to use your brain. You want to gain knowledge. You want to learn. You don't just want people to tell you. You want to learn. Everything that I'm going to say in this video, I want you to ask God for confirmation. I don't just want you to take my word for it, even though I have a really bomb-ass throat chakra. Really, you can't see it right there in 2020, but you'll be able to see it in my other pictures. So this was the beginning of my journey, right? This spiritual friend, I was friends with her for 2 years. Within this year, actually, this same year, when did we go to Sedona for the first time? I think it was September, I believe. Yeah, in September of 2020 is when I wanted to end the friendship with her, right? And the reason being, she drove to Sedona, and on the way back, we went to Slide Rock and stuff. And then on the way back, we stopped at a crystal store. And I always liked picking my crystals intuitively. Like, I didn't want to read what they were for. I wanted to just see what called to me, because I was trying to practice my intuition. And that was one of the ways I was practicing, like, kind of what called to me, Same thing with people. There's a reason why certain people call to you. And it doesn't mean that they're for your forever person. It's because you're meant to learn from them, or they're meant to trigger you, and you're meant to find out what you need to heal through them because of the triggers. If you're anything like me, you love being triggered because it shows you where you need to work at. Because if you are easily angered or easily taken out of your joy and your peace, you're easily manipulated. And that's what we're here to learn. To still remain calm and peaceful during storms, and only connected to Jesus, the Most High, or whoever is like Jesus in your religion, because I've studied several religions and there is a Jesus in all. Krishna, I love Krishna, but to me, like, that's like Jesus, right? So whoever it is, that is who you want to be your guidance. That's who you want to connect to. That's who you want to pray. And when you pray, you don't beg. When you beg, you really don't get answers. It's like when you pray, it's like, thank you for this, or I ask that you please give me, no, I ask that you give me this, or I ask for this. Thank you, but always express gratitude, okay? Anyways, we went to a crystal shop, just so I don't make this story really long. Went to a crystal shop, And I picked my crystals, and I'm still healing. I am not looking for love. Like I really feel like I was repelling love. Even though it was like coming at me, I was like, no. Like anybody that was coming to me was like, oh, well, no, hell no, you know? And the cards that I ended up picking out, they were twin flame and soulmate, not cards, stones. And they were all about love. They were all having to do with the heart and like love. And so I showed her and I was like, hey girl, oh my God, look at the fucking stones that I picked out intuitively. Like, look at what they mean. When I tell you, she couldn't hide the like funkiness in her face. She couldn't hide it. And it's not the first time that I've had friends that I tell them good news to and they make a motherfucking stink face. Do not let these type of people make that stink face more than once to you, because that is, they're showing you clearly who they really are and how they really don't love you as a friend. And they're actually extremely envious of you and you don't even fucking know it. And you won't know it unless your intuition is being worked on. You know, I would have seen her face before and I'm like, just be in my mind. But this time I felt something when I saw her face. I'm like, shit. Then I realized we're about to go and pay. My fucking purse is in the car. I don't do energy work. I still wasn't doing Reiki, you know. I was barely learning to. As you can see, my third eye was not even solid, you know. It was it was like at a 4 at that time. This was like 2 or 3 months after that situation, right? Um, and I was like, oh shit, she's gonna do some shit to my stones. Like I can already fucking feel she has like she don't she don't fuck with me like I fuck with her. Like she's not a girl's girl. She's not really. I know this type of fucking feeling because I've known it since I was a little girl, you know? And those pure hearted women, you understand me. We've never been able to really be close with friends like that because somehow, some way, they either wanted our man, got our man, or got with our man afterwards, or heard them talking shit about us, how we think we're all that and all this shit. Yeah, okay, you feel me. You understand me. You're on the same level as me. We're on the same page. All right, so I'm just like scared because I'm like, fuck, she's gonna do something. So immediately, I'm just like, I'm gonna pray. And I was like, Jesus, I ask that you scare the shit out of her if she's trying to do some crazy, evil, bad shit to my stones while I go get my purse. In Jesus' name, amen. And I was like, hey girl, I'm gonna go get my purse. Can you watch them real quick? And she's like, yeah. Gave him to her, ran, because that car was like literally right outside the door and it wasn't that far. Ran in that bitch, grabbed it, ran back inside. She was no longer right there in the fucking hall. She was like coming from this end. And she's like, here, they don't like me. When she said they don't like me, I was like, oh, Jesus. Like, I don't want to be her fucking friend. Fuck this girl. You know, like, hell nah. Like, what the fuck? And she was driving. So I'm just like, I'm glad she was driving because if she wasn't driving and I was driving, I think I would have said some shit to her. I think I would have left her there. Like, that's how fucking not in my heart I was. Like, I would be like, fuck that, you know? But because I was basically like, I would have been stranded. Like, I was at her mercy at that point. And I'm just in the drive home, I'm just in my motherfucking head trying to like, this bitch, what the fuck was she trying to do? Like, you know, I'm just in my head. So as soon as I got home, I'm like, can I stop being friends with her, God? Like, Jesus, can I stop being friends with her? When I pulled cards, I got no, that I needed to wait and I needed to be patient. And I'm like, wait for what? I clearly know this bitch is envious or being weird to me. Like, what the fuck, you know? And it was funny because, like, on the drive over there, she ended up paying for my aura picture because my card was declining. And that explains why my root chakra was green too. Because when you are having any like financial struggles emotionally, it is going to show in your root chakra. Your root chakra is going to be fucked because that is in charge of your stability, of your legs, of your reproductive organs, of your feet, your lower back, your fears, your worries, your anxiety. My anxiety was off the fucking chain back then, but I couldn't feel it because I was always high. If you can't tell in this picture, I was lit as fuck. I was lit as fuck. Anyways, um, and that's not to say that I don't smoke now, because whenever I feel really, really good and I'm around it and I feel like it, I'm going to smoke because I'm going to go by what I feel, by my intuition. Nobody in the spiritual community is going to make me feel like I am fucking up, or they're not going to put no guilt, shame, none of that lower frequency energy onto me, because I'm going to do what I want. I know my heart. I know who I am. So if I'm doing something that's not right, God's going to get me. God's going to tell me, he's going to sit my ass down and he's going to let me know. But we've already had these combos about that. So I just want to let you guys know that. Anyways, so that was what? 6-7 months into our friendship. I was friends with her for 2 years. There was 3 times where I sat down. Today, can I stop now? And God's like, no. Because I had met a real fine ass man at the end of this year, like a month after this. She wanted me to go get a reading by a lady. And she wanted to give me a reading by a lady. And I went. And the lady just told me, like, she told me that the person that I still wanted during that time, I went to go get it on 11/11/20 that year. She told me that, like, that person was never gonna love themselves enough to follow their heart. And that really broke my heart, because she did confirm to me, that he's madly in love with me, but he was never gonna have the courage and the balls to follow his heart. So I'm just like, all right, on to the next. She's like, but somebody that's not even from here, like somebody that is gonna move, like that literally is exactly the type of person that you're looking for. Like, you're gonna meet him really soon. He's right around the corner. So go to the gym, go get ready. And bro, I didn't do none of that shit. He met me hella thick, and I was extremely insecure, and I was in my head, and I didn't want to be vulnerable, and I was scared, and I moved in my ego, and I self-sabotaged. Not only that, my stupid ass, literally my stupid ass, even though after what I knew with my intuition, when I knew, but because God told me to wait, I sent her a picture of the guy. She's like, let me see what he looks like. I should have known better, right? I know. Lessons learned, right? Lessons fucking learned. But anyways, not only that, like during our friendship, I remember one time, actually several times, I would be called to fast. And those days I would spend throwing up a lot. And one time I remember I felt like I wanted to die. Like I was going to die because of how much I was throwing up, because I'd just drink water and just throw up. And if I didn't drink water, I would feel like I couldn't move. Like I felt like I was going to faint, and I couldn't eat. That would also make me throw up if I try to eat fruits. And so I hit her up. She was the first person that came to mind. I'm like, can you please pray for me? Like, I really feel like I'm going to die. Like, I can't stop throwing up. Well, after I said that, immediately I felt better. I felt that she had powerful prayers. I didn't get told this until last year, that she was actually fucking with my energy. And God knows when to tell me these things, because if God wouldn't have told me last year, and God would have told me right after, whatever, I would have not kept moving in my heart after her. I would have wanted to fight the bitch. I would have fucking looked for her at her house and waited for her and just fucking dragged the fuck out of her, because that was me before. This right here, it was not blocked for no reason. It was because people caused me pain. And people that caused me pain back in the day, I always seeked vengeance. I always got them back. If I cried, I made sure they cried worse than I did. That's how fucking Jekyll and Hyde I used to be, And that kept me safe. That's what felt safe back in the day. But the war was in my body. If I would have kept going, definitely would have hypertension by now. Probably a pacemaker, Fucked up, So I say all this to say, there's a reason why I'm putting out this video. This video should have been done a month and a half ago, but shit's been happening where I'm too tired. Just bullshit. Straight bullshit on why the fuck this video hasn't been done, but it's getting done now. And I have to do it also in Spanish. So there was this guy she kept messing with since I met her, that basically ghosted her ass. Like, would ghost her, would just use her, And she was always the one that would like call him and want to hang out with him. He never initiated shit. She was basically the masculine. He was being a feminine. from what she had told me about it, right? And I got to the point where like I really cared for this girl because I was working on my heart chakra and my throat. And I was really caring for her. And it really, I was able to see how he would just steal her energy. Well, she would let him because she would fuck him and there would be an energy exchange. And then she'd have massive bags under her eyes the next day and like her glow would be gone. And I would be sitting there, I'm like, you're a badass bitch. Like, you're fucking beautiful. Like, quit crying over this motherfucker. Like, get up, like let's go. Where you want to go? Like I'm a life path 3. We're fucking funny, So I'm gonna make a bitch laugh. I'm gonna make sure she's not gonna be thinking about that motherfucker, and we're gonna think about something where we can do and to get your mind off that, right? Me as a friend. Got to the point within the 2 years where it kept happening, and she even lied to me once that she said it was some other guy. And then I started feeling certain vibrations when people lied. So I started asking questions after I would feel they were lying. And this is something that I love to do. When I can feel somebody's lying to me, I ask them questions about what they just lied about. And then watch them lie some more, and then just the tingles just go ham. Not only that, I read their body, I read their eyes, I read their mouth, I read their fucking energy now. Like, I know how to do that now. I didn't when I met her, but you're gonna catch my drift on why you have to come across these type of people so they can show you the power to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your gut, no matter what. No matter if you're the only one standing by your motherfucking self. And that's on Jesus. Anyways, so that cracked me up. I don't even know why I just said that. Anyways, so one day I told her, I was like, come over. I'm going to make battered fish tacos and, from scratch, and come through, whatever. She came through. I opened the door. Bags under her eyes. She didn't have to tell me shit. I'm like, oh, this bitch, fuck this motherfucker again. She sat down and I was like, I felt really good. Like, my energy was very high and hers was not. And then she said that she's like, I want to ask you, like, after some time, she's like, I want to ask you if you could pull cards, about this guy. I'm like, no. Because the last 2 times I pulled, you got the 10 of swords, and you got the tower, and you got the 3 of swords. You got all the worst cards ever the last 2 times. Basically saying it's over. Why you keep calling him when you're drunk? Why you keep going to him? And I was like, you know what? And I told her, I was like, I'm putting up a boundary. This is the first time I break up with a friend. This is the first time I actually put up a boundary with a friend. Because normally, I just blocked them and cut them off. I would ghost them. I would just be like, bitch, you know what you did, ho. That's what that was me. But I was a coward because my root chakra was fucked up, I was full of fear. And I didn't know it. But I was like, I really don't want to talk about him no more. You could talk to me about any other guy, but I do not want to hear about him no more. I don't want to be the one keep filling up your cup because you over there exchanging energy with him and giving him your shit. Like, I don't want to do that. And so she told me she didn't want to be friends with somebody that judged her. And I was like, if you think I'm judging you by setting a boundary, then you can go. Good riddance, I pray that you fucking heal so you can find you a man that's really gonna treat you like a fucking queen and be at your fucking feet. Not you being at their motherfucking feet, Because that's something that I'm big on. There's a reason why my business name is Empress Vibe. I attract. I'm a woman. They come to me. Men come to me. I don't go to men, I might say hi, but then they got to do the rest. Or I might give them a smile, but they got to do the rest. They got to build up that courage, They got to, if you want to lead, show me you can lead then. Show me. Anyways, so yeah, we ended our friendship. But the funny thing is about that day, when I was cleaning my room, a blue kyanite fell. And I remember I put it in my bra. And I had it in my bra. And then that night, when I was getting ready to take a shower at night, it fucking fell. And I was like, oh shit, that's why I fucking spoke my truth today. Damn. And I was like, fuck. And I was like, good riddance. Like, I've been asking to end that friendship for so long. And, I didn't even have to end it. And this is something that I got to tell you guys. Just by being yourself and speaking up for yourself, the people not meant for you, they're going to break it off. And I'm going to be honest, I'd rather them break it off than me cut them off. I'd rather you fucking say that you want to go than me tell you, oh, you need to go, or me let you know by yourself and then block you. No, that was old me. Now, old me is going to be myself, and you going to have to run away from me. You going to have to tell me it's over. You going to have to tell me, get away. You going to have to get away. I'm not doing it. I'm just going to be my bright light, my loving self, and I'm going to speak up for myself every single time, too, when I feel like some type of way. You don't like it? You can motherfucking go. That's the energy that I'm in now because I've learned so much. So that was my first spiritual friend lesson. Now, keep in mind, after her, well, during her, I was telling her how interested I was in Reiki. Like, where did she go to school? She didn't want to help me. She didn't want to guide me. I think she felt that I probably would have surpassed her, you know? There she goes being competitive. I was very different than her. I made 2 friends and I told them both, like, y'all need to go do this. Y'all got powers. Y'all fucking gifted. Go do that. You don't need me. You don't need me to help you do Reiki. You just need me to guide you, and then you do it yourself. You don't need me, you know? And that's one of the big things about my business is I don't want anybody to grab me as a crutch. I want you to step into your power, and I can help you do that. I help people do that. That's what I do. You know, I help them get connected to God first and foremost. I help them get to know themselves. Then I help them be able to trust themselves. And with that, they don't need me. They you know, maybe if they ever feel like they can't connect to the Most High or whatever, you can come back. But what I like to teach is so people don't need me, because sometimes you can't find me. Sometimes I'm busy. Sometimes all the time I do not disturb. I'm a projector in human design. I protect my energy. I protect my peace a lot, because I'm a single mom. And if you know anything about projectors, it's a death sentence to be a single mom as a projector, because we don't make our own energy. And the only reason I'm alive is because of the Most High, Jesus, the angels, my divine love and light ancestors, all the other deities that are benevolent, that are fucking powerful, like Krishna, Shiva, Ganesh, Isis, you know, all that, like, because of them, I'm not alone. They've showed me when I was alone with my children, they showed me that I wasn't alone. God showed me I wasn't alone, and He showed me how powerful it was. So I just want you guys to know that we are never alone, even though we feel alone. And it is best to go to God to vent about our problems than to the person that we think is our friend, that really rejoice when we are down. Okay? Food for thought, little advice for you guys. Anyways, so something happened where I prayed over somebody. Actually, no, I'm gonna show you guys what happened afterwards. So this was in November, right? 2020. I don't know if you guys can see the date. It's little. Anyways, this was pre-Reiki, okay? This was just me 5 minutes a day, every day, in front of a mirror, praying, meditating, and doing guided meditations for my heart and my throat, because those are my biggest worries. Boom. Pre-Reiki. This is just me, my pure intention, prayer, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Elohim, you know. All my spiritual team I didn't know yet because I didn't feel safe enough to connect with them, you know. Boom. Look at that. Look at the chakras. Look at that shit. The guy, he's like, that's one of the best, and it's not even solid either. He said, that's one of the best looking throat chakras I've ever seen doing this, and I've been doing this for years. And I'm like, really? He's like, you don't have no problem speaking up for yourself, telling the truth, and saying what you need to say? I'm like, not that I don't have a problem, but I just don't let the problem stop me. You know? And he's like, yeah, well, keep that up, you know? And then, as you can see, my crown, too. If you compare the crown here, it's a little staticky or grayish compared to this one. So if you see here, let me see the difference right there. And look at, I was still lit right here. I was still smoking. Just so you know, like, you don't have to stop the things cold turkey that are very hard for you to stop. And when you do try to stop, and you go back, what I want to ask of you is not to shame and guilt yourself, because it's that energy that makes it hard for you to quit. If you show it love and compassion and you give yourself forgiveness, because in order for the Most High to forgive you, you got to forgive yourself, because it starts with self. Got to forgive yourself, you know, and doing better next time. And just know you're not fucking perfect. Nobody is. If you meet somebody that appears to be perfect, run. They're hiding some shit. Okay? You know? And if you're being triggered by me cussing, go heal that. Because your triggers show you where you need to heal. Maybe your parents cussed at you when you were little. Maybe that hurts you. I'm just speaking what I want to say. I have a really beautiful throat chakra. And nobody's going to block it by their negative comments or feelings and emotions and their triggers. Never in the fucking everonies. Okay, so it was blue-green. It shows caring, healer, helpful, supportive, and loving. And then my third eye looked a little foggy, but it looked less staticky than there. Right there was like a little staticky. And then right here, it was starting to form. Still, my intuition was not to the T, but I was learning to trust myself, okay? So that was in this is 6/6/2021. So, what was that, June 6th of 2021. So after this, and then after a prayer for a cousin that couldn't sleep for weeks. And when you can't sleep for weeks, when you can't sleep at night, you need a cleansing. You got negative energy or entities, and you don't got to be scared of either. I'm just letting you know right now. Most of us have either had them or have them, and you don't even know it. You think that it's your thoughts and you're doing all this shit? No. I just want to let you guys know. This right here, I had demons. To me, those were demons and entities that were in that area blocking my stuff. If you want to learn more about that, I have a podcast where I talk about this stuff too in depth. I just kind of I don't want this to be too long. Anyways, so then I'm like, all right, I got to find a Reiki master. Like, I need a teacher now. Like, teach me how to do Reiki so I can help others now. I've been helping myself. Now I feel like I want to help others. Like, I don't like seeing people suffer. I don't like people being manipulative. I don't like people being played with. I don't like people in low energy. I don't like to see people down. I never do, because I don't like to see myself down. I'm like, bitch, get up. Get up. You know, I never stay down more than 3 days. I let myself, if I'm ever down, I let myself be down, but no more than 3 days. After that, it's like self-love galore. Outside, inside, everything. Okay. Met my teachers. I felt that they were amazing because they were like quiet, didn't cuss. I actually was aspiring to be like them, because I'm like, damn, I cuss too much. Like, I actually felt like I needed to be more wholesome. You know what I mean? I felt like I need to be that persona of spirituality. I felt like I needed to be like that and less like me. And I thought I had found my people. I was like, damn, like, fuck you guys with your low vibrations. Now I'm over here with the high vibing people, the people that see things like me, blah, 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 you know? It was another motherfucking lesson. All right, it was another lesson. And this one, I'm not gonna motherfucking lie, it was hard, because people do come for that mind. People come. That black magic and shit is real. And let me tell you something. Prayer is not enough, because I only try to do prayer, and that made me a little worse. And I was like, God, what the fuck? Like, help me. And God's like, you gotta learn, baby girl. You need this, because this is what you're going to be doing. You're going to get these kind of clients, and you need to tell them that you've been there and you got the fuck out of there. And I was like, okay. So I ended up getting Reiki. I had never been called to get Reiki by my teacher, but one time I helped him at an event to facilitate Reiki on people. And I felt very weird after that event. Not only that, everybody on my side that I helped with Reiki didn't say shit about their experience. They actually looked a little like confused. Like, they looked a little like, what the fuck if I'm gonna be honest. But the other side, the other girl that was another student, everybody in her row talked. So I was like, I got in my head a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Because when I started doing Reiki, I had to quit my job that same month because I hit the floor running. Like I had 2 or 3 sessions the first week. And then I already had bookings for the following week. So I was like, oh shit, like this shit's taking off, you know? And all the reviews that people had given me, there was even a girl that had precancerous cells, and with 3 sessions and my intuitive advice and the card pulling, those cells were gone. She was no longer about to get cancer in her womb area, you know? So anyways, so when did I take this one? And this one's 2022, okay? So, and this was May. I went to Sedona by myself. My teacher had just done Reiki on me 2 or 3 days prior. I felt amazing though. Do you see my root chakra? And I be working on it. Do you see it? Do you see my sacral, the orange one? The one that's supposed to be orange, the second one above the red one? This one? It's like, it looks gray, but it looks yellow right there. These are your money makers. And he took some from there too, but he wasn't able to really fuck with he wasn't able to fuck with this. Because look at this. I still have that wall. I was told I had a diamond heart, like Mary Magdalene. And if you looked into Mary Magdalene, she's a demon slayer. That's how powerful her heart was. Her love. The power of love. Demons don't like that. They like us sad. They like us depressed. They like us with low energy because they're taking from us and they're making us do what they do. And I went back to red orange, you know, which is safe for me because I have to go to that because it's not safe for me to be in this vibration, if you know what I mean. But there was a lot of black. And it says competitive, energetic, excitement, passion, and willpower. And as you can see, my crown, look at that. So at this point, when I went to go get this red, I prayed a lot all day. And I still do. Whenever God just brings me random ass people in my mind, even if it's somebody from 4th grade, I'm praying for them intuitively. And I'm telling God to send over powerful angels, a protection, whatever it is. That's what I be doing. And the guy said, you need to get closer to God. You need to pray more. And I'm like, sir, I pray more than I've ever prayed in my life. I prayed more than I was here. And in the other ones, what do you mean? And he's like, well, you have like static. And I was like, I just got Reiki. The fuck you mean? I got static, you know? And now I have in my social medias, I have before and afters of my clients before Reiki and after Reiki. And none of their shit looks like this because I'm not stealing my clients' energy. I am really trying my motherfucking best to assist them with healing because I want them to succeed in life. I want them to feel good. I want them to be closer to God, and I want them to move in their heart. This is the difference between real spiritual people and fake people because people are not stealing cars no more. They're not stealing your shit. They're stealing your energy. And as you can tell, these are your money makers right here. Because that's where he took. And they're, with Reiki, there's symbols where you extract negative energy. I didn't have any negative energy for him to take. He took my fucking energy, you know? And I didn't feel it. I still drove over there. I was excited. I was not napping. I was out. I was in nature. I did a Jeep thing. I had a fucking blast. And the whole time, he was watching my stories, and I remember seeing he was like one of the first people. Probably in his mind, he's like, this bitch, she should be dead or something. I don't know. No, bitch, I'm not. Anyway, so that was in May. And then I went to do a home clearing in Virginia in July. And then I also did a Reiki on somebody that practiced black magic with the Santa Muerte. And I don't know what ended up happening to them, but like she did death magic on me and my children. And I felt it. I felt weird. I felt numb. I felt like I was being watched. I felt like I should be scared. And I was trying my hardest not to be scared, not to feel scared. I remember that night I Reiki'd the home. Um, and I felt whatever energy, the entity, whatever, I felt it in the hallway. And I slept in the dark, but I left the light on in the hallway. And then I went to bed with like angelic music. And I also went to bed with heavy prayer. Um, I remember the last thought that I had when I went to sleep, my whole body was warm. Like if I was being like hugged and nestled. It was like super warm. I woke up in the morning, sweaty as fuck, stinky as shit. There was a fucking smell, putrid. I don't even know how to explain it. It was the most fucking disgusting smell on earth. I had to take a shower immediately. I was at an Airbnb, so I fucking washed their stuff. I cleansed the fuck out of their home again because I care about where I stay, and not only that, I care about whoever the fuck is coming next. I don't want nobody to be fucked with next, So I cleansed the shit out of it. Not only that, I had a cousin of mine that spent the night that had her light gone. She was a little teenager. Her spark was gone. She spent the night. The next morning, she had that fucking stench. And my girl, you better take a shower. I let her borrow clothes. I washed her clothes. And I was like, whatever shit had me, it had you too, but you were not even there. So I'm just confused on what the fuck was going on with you, And I didn't know what I know now, but I feel like my aunt, it was an aunt of mine. Not like first aunt, but like she married my uncle, my mom's brother. And she was always showing love on my pictures. She was always telling me like all this shit and just sucking my ass basically. And that day, like there was thunderstorm and I was like, I just feel like going outside and going out there. This is before I knew that water washes your aura, right? And fuck it, I go. I guess get my aura cleanse, right? And then I go because I had already Reiki'd myself. Then I go in the shower. And then God tells me, you need to call your aunt and you need to tell her if she's serious about getting Reiki every Friday. Because when I did Reiki on her, it really, like, it was like an exorcism. Like, Reiki can sometimes be an exorcism if you have demonic entities or shit, spirits in there, which she had a lot. And that's why I told her, you got to get Reiki every Friday at the same time. That's why I told her, I'm going to do this one in person, but the other ones, we're going to do it, we're going to do it, what's it called? Through distance, because I'm in Arizona, she's in Virginia. And I got out of the shower and I called her and I was like, Tia, like, how are you doing? And she's like, oh, I'm doing good. But then I felt like all these vibrations of her lying. And I'm like, she's supposed to be doing good with Reiki. Like, I'm confused, But I'm like, oh, why is she lying? So then I was like, okay, well, I'm glad to hear that. I was going to sit there and tell her, you're lying to me, I'm glad to hear that. I'm doing well too. I just want to let you know that God gave me a message when I was showering right now. And he said that if you're serious about getting cleansed and, walking the path with God, you're going to have to go to war with wanting to mess with people's free will. Not knowing that she was already doing death magic on me, and I'm like, you have to make sure that you're not doing that no more. And she's like, let me tell you something. I don't want to talk to you no more. I just want to focus on me and my family and yada, yada, yada. I was like, that's fine, Thea. I can love you from afar. I have no problem with that. And I was like, but I want to let you know, because she's like, I just want to focus on, my children. And she did witchcraft on her child. She did one on one of her sons that's married with his wife, so he would stop cheating on her. Can you imagine your own mom doing fucking witchcraft on you? How egotistical. You feel me? Anyways, on top of that, with your fucking wife. Betrayal. Anyways, but not only did she do witchcraft on that child, she did it on the other one. And to be honest, when the other one asked me and I pulled, I was like, no way, my dad would never do that shit to you. And I got all the cards that said yes. I was like, bro, it says that your mom does do shit to you. What the fuck? And she's like, my wife has told me. And I was like, and we would fight about it. I'm like, why the fuck did you listen to your wife? What the fuck? So if you're listening to this and this is resonating, you're tingling and shit, yes, your mama. We come from a very, very dark roots, guys. We come from the rape of black women. If you're Latino, Hispanic, we come from the rape of the black woman. From our black queens, which I love. I love black people. They're my favorite people since I was little. Anyways, so yeah. And so we cut ties, and I was like, whatever. But I still felt weird. Even when I was on the airplane, I was like, dang, like I don't even want to get mad. I don't even want to get angry. Like I feel like if I do, bad shit's gonna happen if I do get angry. So I made sure that I didn't get angry. I made sure. I was working on my root chakra. The whole airplane ride, I was just like, I don't know what's happening, God, but help me. And so I got guidance on where to go to get cleansed. I went, took my kids. 3 days later, I'm still cleansing myself because I still didn't feel good. If I'm gonna be honest, I felt weird. And so I kept cleansing myself and my children. And then at the third day, I heard, go tell the lady that cleansed you guys that she didn't cleanse you guys well and that she needs to get cleansed. And I was like, I'm not telling that 60-year-old lady that's been doing Reiki for 40 years that she didn't clean us right. I am not going to go over there, God, and go take doubt to her. Like, I'm scared. I don't even know what the fuck. And I couldn't even trust myself at that point. Whenever I would get messages, I'd be like, I don't even know if this is real. And it was crazy because even at some point, when my teacher was messing with me, and then at some point he was not able to mess with me no more, during the meditation, I got take magnesium. And I was like, what the fuck? And I remember I looked it up and it's for the brain health. Because when black magic or any type of altering of your free will, they come for your mind. They come for our mind. So I started taking magnesium. Then I started feeling a lot better. No more brain fog, no more like, I would like sit there and be like, I need to do this, but like I felt like I couldn't do it. And that was because that shit, and I prayed every day, and I did my best to be like the best person I could be. I was trying to be perfect, to be honest. I'm a Virgo. So, and the more perfect you try to be, the more mistakes you make. So please don't try to do that. Try to learn from me, because I feel like I did learn the hard way, but I needed to. Anyway, so I went ham after that lady told me, she's like, you have groups of people. You have groups of people trying to do death magic on you. You have groups of people doing sex magic on you. Like I see 3 people, like threesomes, and I'm like, and if you go listen to my podcast, there's a vision of 3 people that I have. Go listen to that if you're really interested in this stuff. It's Empress Vibe on Station Head is my podcast, okay? And don't be shy to let me know what your thoughts and feelings about it is. Anyways, so she told me that she's like, you have groups of people, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how am I alive, bro? Like, how am I still here right now? So I'm just like in my head because I'm like, clearly this is not happening. And then when I was in Virginia going through that stuff, I had a girl from Instagram that was in Africa that I had donated once to, but then she started becoming like, she started lying to me about why she needed money, and I had to cut her off because it's like, now you're just trying to take my kindness for weakness, and I don't do that. Like, we don't do that shit here. But she sent me Psalms 81, I believe, or 91. I don't remember. Talking about like, you walk by the valleys of shadow death with me, but like you're with me, so you're protected, blah, blah, blah. Like, I was reading that. She sent that to me, and I'm like, ooh, my whole body got really warm, and I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, there's power in this. I really didn't like the Bible during that time. Now I'm a little bit more open to it, but I still don't have one because I want to show that everything that's in the Bible, God can tell you directly. So whatever I say, if it correlates with the Bible, great. That's how you know God's speaking through me. So you can maybe listen a little bit deeper and maybe not judge people that cuss, or people that look a certain type of way, or people that like to dance, or people that still go to clubs. I still go to clubs. Why? Because the light is needed there. We are needed there. I ain't scared of these demons. They're scared of me. And I mean it. I mean it. Motherfuckers with demons, and the ones with real brave ones, they come, but then they skedaddle. Scared. I don't have a diamond heart for no reason. Anyways, so I went ham. Like, and when I mean ham, like obsessive in a way, which I'm never going to do again because I wasted a lot of energy and a lot of time just scared as fuck and cleansing my chakras, right? So remember, this is what it looked like. I'll even let you see my face. Like, look happy as fuck still. I'm being fucking attacked and my energy's low as fuck. And the guy told me, he's like, oh, you look like you went through some stomach problems or healing from it. And I'm like, no. But that was because all my shit was gone. And I was fasting during that time and just eating nothing but fruit. My intuition. That's what God told me to do. If I would have been eating meat or eating bad, I would have been horrible. I would have been in horrible energy. All right. So this was what? 2022 May. This is still 2022 September. Okay. Look at my crown though. My crown turned from white to violet. So I was really hearing God's voice clearly, but I was too scared to follow it because I was unbalanced, you know. During this time, God told me to go to Bali. I didn't go. Later on, I got my astrocartography read that I would have a magical time there. I fucking was bawling because I'm like, you know, but I'm still going to go. I'm still going to go to Bali somehow, some way. God knows how. I'm still going to travel the world. God only knows how, you know. But now that I'm done with this, I want to give you guys things that saved my life that I did when I was being attacked by Reiki people that wanted to steal my energy and people that do dark magic or try to fuck with people's free will. I don't know much about that, to be honest. I only know what I know because it's been done to me. And they come for true healers. And what I learned today was that a healer's path is very difficult because they are not able to withstand the witchcraft and the psychic attacks that happens to them. But that's because they're not connected to God properly. I want to thank the Most High and Jesus for me being a believer and being led to this. I asked, lead me, God. I got led by God to tarot. I got led by God to Reiki. I got led by God to do all this shit that I do with reading energy. So I will never listen to somebody with a demonic spirit telling me that I'm doing the Dark Lord's work or that I'm doing dark shit. Because when a person comes to me and they're depressed and they're fucking sad and they're at their lowest and they're scared, at the end of the session, they don't fucking feel like that. They feel really good. They feel light as a feather and they feel a lot closer to God. They still may feel a little bit confused, you know, because they're still trying to learn. But they feel like they have an inner knowing, like, I got this. I can do this shit. Yeah. Because that's what God works through me. It's not my energy. Part of it is because I take care of my energy, you know, my vessel needs to be clean, you know, but it's God's energy being able to work through me. And that's why it's so powerful, because of the intention and because of my pure intentions. I do want people to do well. And I don't give a fuck if they do better than me. That doesn't matter because my blessings come from the Most High. And if I'm sitting there mad at you, God's going to block my blessings. So I'm going to praise whoever fucking grows because we need more healers. We need more people like me. And if you're like me, we need you. Stop hiding. Stop being scared. Step into your God-given gifts and feed them the fear they're trying to give you. That's theirs to keep. That's all that shit. So the first thing is mental health stuff, magnesium, vitamins. How are you eating? Okay. The other one that is also number one, these two are number ones. Going outside in nature, especially when the sun is out. The sun is so healing for us. Blanket and go lay your ass down. Every day. Every fucking day. And I mean it. Every day. If you're pure-hearted, you need to be outside every day. And if you're not, well, then when things happen and stuff, don't ask yourself why. Get that ass outside. Another thing is to do your best to remain joyful. The biggest fuck you to those energies is to remain happy, glowing, excited, vibrant, Still in God energy. Don't let them steal your shine. And if they do steal your shine, do not post pictures. They will read your shit. You stay put until your shine comes back. Okay? Do not tell people what the fuck you're going through, especially if you feel like you can't trust them, because it could be them that's doing it to you and they just want to know if it's working. We're not going to let them know it's working. Okay? We're not going to do that. And the joy comes from here. So if you're having a hard time feeling joy, heavy solar plexus and heart chakra work. That goes number 2. Heart chakra, solar plexus, and root chakra healing. The root for the fear, worry, and doubt. This for the joy, personal power, and confidence. Heart for forgiveness and compassion and empathy for them. Because you don't want to do return to senders. You're going to be fucking fighting for the rest of your life. You want to give them love, so it fucking cuts off there. And if you don't want to give them anything, then don't give them anything. Don't even give them your thoughts, because you're giving them your energy with your focus. Because what you focus on grows. Okay? Number 3, nurturing yourself or kids or your kids. Nurturing your kids is naturally going to nurture yourself and your inner child. So, being with your kids, healing your inner child, they are closer to God, so hanging out with your kids, having fun, playing with them. And I'm going to tell you something. It's going to feel hard, but do it anyways. And then number 4, it's get out of your mind and into your body or your spirit body. Spirit body is when you're praying or when you're meditating, you're in your spirit body. When you're in your body is when you're dancing, when you're working out, anything to get the fuck out of here. This is not where you want to be when you know you're being attacked. You want to be in your body or praying. Actually, do both, but either or if you can't pick. If you don't know what. Number 5, be around gentle, funny people or watch funny movies or shows. Funny shit. Laugh is the medicine. Laugh, laugh, laugh. And that's another big ass fuck you, because you're still joyful. Okay? Number 6, nap, sleep. Go to fucking sleep. Get as much as rest as you can. Fast. Eat more fruits and vegetables. Lots of water. Half your weight in ounces daily. That's all the advice I have for you guys. Y'all safe. None of this will-altering shit can work because it's real. None of it can work if you're focused on yourself. And I mean laser focused. You're focused on the Most High. You're going to feel stuff. You might see stuff. But it's all because it wants your energy. You got to understand the power of your energy. Where you focus, you're giving it. So make sure it's on yourself, your family, your loved ones, people that are pouring into you just like you pour to them. That's where your focus is to be. I love y'all. Have a heaven on earth day or night. Wherever it is that you're at or whenever you're watching this, that's one of my favorite things to wake up to. When I wake up in the mornings, to just sit with myself. Today's a heaven on earth day for me and everyone I'm connected to. And so it is. Say it with your heart. Say it out loud. Say it with conviction. Every day. And as much as you can say it. And when you feel like you're going crazy, all is well. All is well. Everything's working out in my favor for the highest good of all. All is well. Everything's working out in my favor for the highest good of all. Okay? And stay away from people that make you feel like you're crazy for what you feel. Because when your third eye gets better. Let's see if I have a more recent one. No, I don't have the more recent one. When it gets better, nobody can lie to you. And I mean nobody. Not even, you can't even lie to yourself. I love you guys. Bye.